Now relieve, and there's New York Vinnie, freshly back from Canada. He has returned to the United States against his will, but they let him in, so what are you going to do?
Well, that's the problem. It didn't even stop. Didn't even really stop me at the border. All it says is Vichichi. That's got to be an American name. Go
Get in
ahead,
here. Get in here.
get
Get
in,
in
get
here.
back in. He's Michael Knight. He's down in Pasadena. He has not been to Canada lately, but I'm thinking, given the opportunity
Why
and
go?
the wherewithal for Canada, just quickly and fine.
I would bring at least one change of clothes and hop across that border.
Yeah, it's a pretty active place these days. Um, I don't
Is
know that I saw a lot of people coming in, but boy, oh boy, there was a trying to get out of the United States. That's for sure.
They weren't all going to see Nick Lowe, but many of them were, of course.
Yes, well, yeah, there was a ton of people to go see Nick Lowe. It was his final show of his this limited North America done, basically the West Coast. For those of you who may not know, Nick Lowe, one of the uh, the hearts of Rockpile, a band that was around for an album in the '70s, and yet is probably for me. You know, that Rockpile reminds me of KKCY
Yeah, those are
for a
the
short
days.
amount of time, and had a profound influence on what we heard for years to come.
Dave Edmonds and Nick Lowe.
Yeah, Dave Edmonds, Nick Lowe, Billy Bremner. I can't the other guy's name, but they were with Los Straitjackets, which are unique because they wear masks.
Mexican wrestling masks.
Yeah, those Mexican with the zipper, the whole Mexican wrestling mask, and so that makes them unique because you could be standing next to one in the elevator of the hotel you're staying at,
You got no idea.
and not even know it. Except
The suits.
now this guy didn't even have his suit on. He just had his just was carrying a guitar, so that led me to believe.
Possibility, either that or a guitar tech.
Yeah, I was kind of going back and forth, but then I started into him, and he was in fact in the band. A guy from Brooklyn. His name was Chris, and Christian was a really nice guy, and we got a chance to sit and talk for a spell. A young guy who revered the old guitar masters,
You
and
have to. You must. You absolutely must.
yeah, if you're going to be in that band, you really got what I thought the most song that they played. What they do is, and for those again who don't know Nick Lowe, because I found that a lot of people don't know Nick Lowe. Um, he along with Elvis Costello, and many others of that of the late '70s and the new wave, bunch of people that came over wrote just great song upon great song. Edmonds Costello and Nick Lowe, in form or another, wrote songs as Allison and Girls Talk, and I Knew the Bride when she used to rock and roll, and uh, just a great amount, a great log of music. Anyway, um, Nick was great. I've seen him several times. This was, um, you know, Michael. It's funny being here and close to Vancouver. If you go up to Vancouver to see him, you start to you start to think, is this time I'm ever going to see this person? Because Vancouver is the end spot for so many shows.
Brinsley Schwartz. I was trying to remember. I'm sorry, I wasn't
Brinsley
concentrating.
Sports. Well, that was the band, was it before?
Exactly. The band that preceded Rock Pilot and his production at
Right,
Shift
right.
Records.
They did.
Peace, love.
What was the uh uh what did they do? Cruel
Cruel
Kind
to
or
be kind. Yes, cruel to be
yes,
kind.
Brinsley Sports. They originally wrote Cruel to Be Kind. Anyway,
And what's so funny about Peace, Love, and Understanding?
Right. That's the one that was actually a hit for them
Right.
in England, in a more of a yacht rock kind of
Well,
version.
Nick had a lot of different sides to him always.
Yeah, Nick definitely is versatile, man. He genre to genre almost as quickly as Joe Jackson.
And his hit, I Love the Sound of Breaking Glass.
Yeah, which they did. They opened up with "So It Goes," which has always been one of my favorites. That was featured in Rock and Roll High School.
Rock and Roll High School.
Rock and Roll. Anyway, great show. They play for an hour and a half, an hour and 40 minutes, something like that. But they're all 2-minute songs.
Yeah, it's true.
So they're boom, 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 boom. Uh, um, but the highlight of the night, I thought, besides he closed with Allison, which he wrote with Elvis Costello, I believe.
And produced it for him, too.
I think they co-wrote those. But they did a surf our version of the theme from the Titanic. The da, 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 da. I forget the name of the song. Maybe it is the theme for the Titanic.
I will go on. I will scream on. I will.
Yeah,
carry
it was on, and it was just excellent. I mean, it took the song out of the genre it was built in and made it a whole completely different thing. Yeah, you have three really great guitarists in that band, and a really good drummer too. I don't want to sell a drummer short. And you got Nick, and it was well worth the money that we spent there. It was well worth hanging out with Canadians again for another concert. It's just so different.
Is the so-called trade war a topic of discussion amongst the people that you saw casually in Canada?
Nah, nah, not really. I mean,
They got different things to do.
I talked to a waiter when I was getting my poutine, which I had to have. I got my poutine, and that we talked a little bit with the guy in Tim Hortons, which is obviously where you want to go to eat in Canada. There's also another place called the White House, which I didn't go to. I had a chance to stop in, but the White House, um, they're not very friendly toward Teslas up there either.
It's tough to drive Teslas. There's so many in LA. I don't know if people are having trouble or not. I imagine that they are.
Yeah, I think they're having trouble all over the world right now. I don't. I'll be able to buy a Tesla for a penny on the dollar fairly soon.
Well, that's why Donald Trump had one on the White House yesterday, parked right in front.
Yeah, you see that? I mean, that's the thing. He's spends railing against electric cars, and then he goes and tells Elon, "We'll bring one by, and we'll add it up.
Bring me a red one. Park it right here.
Bring me a red one and give it to my ugly kid."
Oy.
Oh, that would create a fight, wouldn't it?
Which ugly kid gets it?
Yeah. Better send 3 over. 4. Anyway, great trip. It was good to go up there. People are friendly. The Canadians seem to take this stride. The ones that I didn't speak to the whole country. But I thought that one asked me, the bartender in the hotel that we were staying in asked me, why in the hell did we reelect this guy?
Good question.
And I said, I'm damned if I know. You have hundreds of years of harmony and peace and friendship and two companies that trust each other empirically. I mean, they just there's no question about the loyalty to each.
Plus, they make Canadian bacon and beer.
Yeah, I got a beer story for you in a minute. Um, and now we're in this position where the Canadians want to hate us,
They just can't put it together.
but they can't. They can't. You see, they have something up there called loyalty.
Oh dear, that's not going to work in the long run with Trump.
Yeah, that you've been somebody's friend a long time. You just don't throw them away. And they take that. They ain't got a lot, but what they got, they know how to use. And they really, I just thought, it made me, back up there and spend more money up there. And
Do you think about moving?
well, you can't move up there. You have to have somebody up there.
Same
Um,
thing.
can't. There's no. I mean, unless you're a doctor or I don't even think. And this is why I love Canada. I don't even think they want lawyers. I think we have enough lawyers. They said.
We looked around. We got enough. Thanks.
Yeah, we've got. We got more than we can. We don't want to create any more problems. And and they're afraid though. They're on edge because there's so many jobs up there that depend on jobs here in the United States that depend on money moving between the borders, and they can't figure out why Trump would do what he's doing.
Makes no sense.
It was yeah, it just makes no. It doesn't give anybody a good end result.
It's like what the Democrats are wrestling with this morning, whether they should vote to shut down the government or vote to continue the resolution.
Yeah,
They can't win either way.
they don't have the heart to turn off the government because they know how many people relate to and need those payments and need that money and need the stuff that's going on.
And they're right.
And they are, yeah. I mean, if you shut down and stop handing out Social Security checks and Medicaid reimbursements and things
Play,
like that,
plays right into Donnie from Queen's hands.
yeah, you're gonna put your country on its ear. But he's clearly got one thing on his mind right now, and that's the
Destruction.
Nobel Peace Prize.
Well,
He
he's going to have some trouble getting that if he keeps deferring to Russia. Well, we got a deal, and Ukraine's happy. We just got to hope that Russia will come along.
It's such a sad state of affairs. And each I turn on the television set. Each time I look at the news, and you can't look away uh, because I'm an educated person. I want to know what's going on.
And there it is. You got the answer to your question is you're not going to believe this shit.
Yeah, and the things that are allowed to happen are insulting not just to me, but every American ought to be insulted by it.
Every member of NATO, every casual observer anywhere in the world.
How do you, as president of the United States, how do you allow Leon Musk to call Mark Kelly a coward,
A traitor.
a traitor? How in the world, no matter what, How do you allow this South African scumbag to come over here? Another guy who's never picked up a gun and stood for anybody in his life or anything except making money.
And not likely
He's never stood in the world a better place. Crap. He sticks his dick in anything he can find.
Which brings to mind his favorite song, "Stir It Up."
How do you not pull this guy into your office? Whether a guy is a Republican or a Democrat or what?
So that's all. Thank you.
How do you not call this guy into your office and say, you shut up? You want to do your little dance with your belly hanging out around the stage or whatever, you knock yourself out. But you don't start disparaging our heroes.
Well, then
You don't start disparaging our military, our people that fought. But here's the problem. Here's the problem with states. Is that why should he? Why should Trump? Because the veterans didn't stand up for him against Trump when he basically called them whatever name he wanted to.
Suckers and losers.
Suckers and losers. The veterans didn't stand up and rebuke guy.
No, and there's guys right now wearing stars in the Pentagon playing for Trump's team.
How do you deal with this? How do you save this country? Just to see some of the stuff that they're pulling again with Musk leading the way. When did this guy become president? Who elected him to anything?
Same people who voted for Donnie from Queens gave Leon everything he needs.
Who approved him?
It's a sad, pathetic, absurd situation, but that's life with Donald Trump every single day. Sad, absurd, and sickening.
It's sickening, and it's sickening that this guy, that Musk,
and little weasels like Mike Johnson endorsing every move, every step of the way.
Oh, you just drop your pants and I'll stick my nose up there. It smells so good.
That's Mikey Johnson.
How do you face people?
Well, that's just it. The Republicans won't even do a town hall. They can't face their constituents. They can't explain what they're doing, and they won't. They just turn their face away from the people who voted for them and toward their Führer.
Well, I hope that the people remember this. Is this price? Is this worth it? If you're a Trump voter, is this worth it? Is losing your dignity? Is it worth it? Is it worth leaving you with no self-respect?
Just read the T-shirts of the people who voted for him, and you'll get the answer pretty quickly.
I'm just perplexed, Michael.
Coffee.
And I'm angry, and I just see this stuff continuing to happen. I see scumbags like Elon Musk, Neon Leon.
I think.
Yeah, I see standing up and telling us how to run our country. And that's right, you Trump assholes. It's my country too. It's not your country. It's everybody's country. and you wouldn't, and people are so afraid of this guy that they wouldn't stand up and say anything about him, either Trump or Doge boy.
He won't suffer any criticism whatsoever. You may not discuss his motives or the results. You may not.
The media doesn't stand up for it. Marco Rubio actually grows a pair for a couple of minutes, and he's
No.
shut down right away.
They sent him to Saudi Arabia. And if you're a good boy, we'll bring you back, but no promises. And while he's there, he has to check the peace offers, the ceasefire offers with Russia. He doesn't check them out with Trump or Zelensky. He has to check it out with Russia, see if they're going to go along with it. And so far, they're not.
Well, I guess I heard this morning just before we went on. Yeah, that Russia, Zelensky is willing to do this,
The ceasefire.
the ceasefire. I don't think he's going to go along with the whole thing.
No,
As a matter of fact, it wouldn't shock me. Just the ceasefire is a means to get Europe to restock.
Right. NATO's got to come through.
People in that part of the world have weird ideas about what life is about. That they're better off dead than they are living under a dictator.
Ask the good people of Poland what their attitude is. They're changing the rules now so that all males have to serve in the army now.
Yeah.
And 30 nations and their leaders, military leaders, all had a meeting yesterday, and guess who they didn't invite?
I know.
Us.
Oh yeah. Well, why would you invite us?
Why would you invite the enemy?
If Europe at this point, you can't think that America is backing you up.
We change sides in the middle of the night.
I wonder how many international leaders will stop telling us stuff. Will stop sharing intelligence with us.
All of them should.
As long as this guy's in office, you're not part of it. You want to go it alone? We'll show you what going it alone looks like.
Those who know don't tell, and those who tell don't know.
And I don't know. I'm insulted by it all, Michael. I'm so
It's the most ridiculous straits of our history. In 250 years, we've never acted like this. We've never presented this side of ourselves to the world. We never showed everybody the secret United States, which is full of idiots and I can't find the words.
And the blatant lies this morning. I mean, this son of a bitch had the audacity to go on television to have a press conference and tell us that inflation is down. He had the audacity to go on television and say the country is pulling out of inflation. He had the audacity to go on television and say that the price of eggs are down. That he's the only one that can fix it.
It's going to be so beautiful when he gets the details correct. Just making some adjustments.
This is
Can you tell me if the tariffs are on or off today?
No. They were off yesterday when I came across the border, and they seemed to be back on by the time. Or was it? No, that was actually Monday when I crossed the border. They were off. By the time I got home, they were back on. By the time I turned this on yesterday, they were off. And now, from what I understand, they're back on again.
Well, Canada's around for us, that's for sure.
and they're some. I guess some people are saying they're 50% in some cases.
Nobody knows.
No, yeah, that's it. Nobody knows. How do you run a business if you don't know how much you're going to pay for aluminum?
Or what you charge for your product, or who buys it, or who
No.
can buy it.
If you're one of those people that, like I do, like to drink Canada Dry ginger ale, I don't know what a bottle of that stuff's going to cost you.
You don't know where it's made. Nobody does now.
And people sit there and they think that this guy is good for the.
Oh, he's a genius. He's draining the swamp. He's a great negotiator. What a negotiator. What a deal maker. Such a deal.
Well, at least one company has it, Michael. The fellas and gals up at Moosehead Beer.
What are they doing today?
Remember Moosehead? I think they were a big I think they were a big sponsor of ours at the city, if I remember.
Yeah, I think they were.
Then what was the other one? Colombian Gold or
And they were.
I don't know.
They
Ronnie
were
came up with some beers that I never heard of before.
they were out of BC.
I don't know if Moose is on the east uh, coast, Canada, or on the east part. Let me just quickly draw this up here. So the folks in Moosehead decided that they would do something very unique. For $2,475 Canadian, you buy the presidential pack, which is 1,461 473 milliliter cans of Moosehead. Just enough Canadian log to get you through a full presidential term.
It's the Trump antidote.
Now, right now, the presidential pack is only available to customers in New Brunswick, Nova Scotia, and Ontario. And remember that beverage container deposit and applicable taxes are applied at checkout. And enjoy responsibly. I saw an interview with the marketing director, who I think should probably get Marketing Director of the Year award for 2024, I guess 25.
And he says you do what you want, but we think you're going to need it. We think you're going to need it.
He says do whatever you want, but take these with some aspirins. And
call me in the morning.
And they are sold out. They I think they did a run of 100. And they are sold out. If you the Moosehead people bring it to you in a huge crate.
Presidential crate.
A huge crate. I can call the folks up at Moosehead and I guess get put on a waiting list. If they get enough people, they'll do another run.
This will come as a surprise to Donald Trump and all the dark, ignorant men who follow him and fear him. But apparently, Canada was producing power for 3 states, 3 American states, Michigan, Minnesota, and one other, North Dakota, I think. And they've cut the power. What is it?
New York.
New York, upstate New York. And they've cut the power in response to Trump's tariffs. And the Republican response was, so what? It's only 3 states. So what? It means nothing. 3 states. We got 50 states. We got power for most of them. 47 of our states have power, so 3 don't. What are you going to do about it? That's the cost of doing business.
Yeah, I remember, Mikey, that many years ago, I think it was Trump that said in his first campaign that this would be America was turning into a third world country. I just never realized that he wanted to be the one to turn it into that third world country.
He wants to take it to a place where it can never recover.
I mean, you would start to think that he's a Russian agent after a while, wouldn't you?
The way things are going, he's going to buy the jets and do nothing to change them. Leave it just the way it is.
Don't touch anything.
I like it just the way it is. Why change it? It's perfect.
Well, you know who, I mean, you've seen, I don't know, I haven't seen over the last couple of days. I know it appeared that there was rumblings here while I was gone about Aaron Rodgers coming here.
Sam Darnold took his spot.
I saw that too. That they were talking to him too. Wasn't sure if they were gonna what they were gonna do, and I had to be honest with you. I was just so absorbed in a couple of other things. So I'm glad that they didn't bring Aaron Rodgers wouldn't have lasted in this city 15 minutes.
No, not a good match. Not a good match at all.
Well, I'm
There's not enough hate talk in Seattle. You need more hate talk.
yeah, I'm glad that I'm glad that you know what I never I wasn't a big Smith fan as far as um after he himself of him doing anything because I was kind of hoping that he would come here and get that boost to his career
Right.
and get because I liked the guy. But it was horribly obvious after the first couple of games that he just didn't have the chutzpah.
Yeah, not the oomph of the chutzpah.
He didn't have the step in there and take control of the team. He never really had that. Maybe he would be a good backup quarterback. I don't know, but it looks like you'll have to tell Ori on the road.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that Darnold got that he gets a shot here. That with well, I don't what because we saw a coaching staff last year that was good, bad, good, bad, good, bad, good, bad. It would look good times when it looked like crap. The coaching staff, I'm saying.
Mayonnaise, but not good mayonnaise.
So now we'll get a chance to see what the coaching staff is made out of.
And we'll see what DJ Metcalf is made of too, now that he's with the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Oh yeah, he's back with Pete.
Gino's back with Pete.
Where did Metcalf go?
Steelers.
Oh, that's right. I got him switched. I'm sorry.
Well, there's so many people traveling these days.
So he'll be reunited with Wilson.
I don't think so.
Did they pull the trigger on Wilson?
Yeah.
It's a tough business, football.
It's a tough business. Not for sissies.
I really thought that Wilson was going to go to Pittsburgh and actually be successful. I really thought that he was gonna go there, and Mike Tomlin was going to be able to straighten his head out, and
I don't think he can straighten his head out. I think it's permanent damage, self-inflicted.
Well, I don't know him well enough to know that. I was gone for almost this entire year. I was here for 1 year of it, and I think it's sad because it looks like he did some real incredible things here.
Well,
I
that's
mean, he took
true.
him back to the Super Bowl twice,
That's true.
and winning one of them. So, I mean, I think he'll always have that spot in Seahawk fans' hearts. But he also to have quite a high opinion of himself.
He had an ego that was slightly outsized.
Yeah, and when you're traveling in the circles he's traveling, and I guess that's a career a career uh, problem. You know, as
Didn't
you
help.
start to get the I believe in myself a little too much situation.
He always believed he was going to get away and complete the pass. Always.
And he did for a lot of them until Pete Carroll decided he wanted to play a different game. And they became oil and water. And Pete wasn't happy, and Russell wasn't happy. It didn't seem like anybody was happy.
Russell's wife wasn't happy.
Russell's wife wasn't happy. And you know what the old saying says, my
It ain't going to work if she's not happy.
happy wife, happy life. So, well, that's good. I mean, I guess the thing we're going to have to figure out, though, is which Sam Darnold are the Seahawks going to get?
I think they're going to get the one who played for the 49ers and the Vikings.
I hope so. I hope so. I hope that I hope that he comes here and does well. And he's the future of the franchise for. I mean, he's coming into that. He's coming into that part of his career, right?
He's a veteran.
He's played enough at a level
With a number
that
of
he
teams.
should have this thing down. He's not a rookie. He's not learned. He doesn't need a experienced quarterback in front of him to ropes. He should have the ropes.
He's ready to lead the team.
He should there be no question that Sam comes into camp and does great things, unless of course he gets hurt. I mean, 27 is a great age
Yeah.
for a quarterback. I mean, you should really be hitting you should have it up here, and still have it here. So between the two, you should be able to make it interesting.
I think he's going to do well. I've always liked his game.
I think he is too. Well, he's going to have to, because anytime the Jets let go of somebody, the Jets are the East Coast version of the Mariners. They let somebody go, and you can almost guarantee they're going to do okay. What happens to Aaron Rodgers now?
Well, he doesn't have a team to go to. Justin Fields inherits the New York spot. Sam Darnold leaves Vikings and takes the Seahawks spot. The Raiders have a new team. Pete's organized a revitalization there. In theory, the number of picks that they get are going to be fantastic.
Yeah, let's not. I still got to see what Pete's going to do. I mean, I wish him success. Uh, uh, I think that's going to be a tough situation. And you know, with a new baseball team in town, I would think that the glitter is off the blue is off the rose, right?
Oh
They had
yeah,
hockey 3 or 4 years ago. They competed in their first couple of years. How much do you hear about the hockey team anymore?
the Golden Knights.
The Golden Knights. Um, you hear a lot about them right now because they have a new coach. Now they have a new quarterback. Um, but you're going to be competing against another new toy. And even though they're not physically, I would think that the A's marketing department is going to do all they can to get people interested.
Come to Sacramento, see us play. We're your team.
Well, if they're smart, they'll be flying people back and forth, right? They'll be
That would be the dangerous way to keep you. If you want to kill your fan base, put them on an airplane.
yeah, yeah. You could actually be the air traffic controller for this flight.
We'll drive, thanks. I'll hitch.
That's all right. What is it? 80. What is it? 89 that goes down. 89 is a beautiful road this time. You come down on the east side of the city, and you just look out that window, and there's no speed limit in Nevada. You just look at that down,
Nobody there. Nobody cares.
and it's gorgeous. Every once in a while, you dip across the border, go check out the little towns like Wyndham, and I forget a few other towns that are near the border. And then you go back across the border into Nevada
Bob's your uncle.
and go and look for that box of 1,481 beers.
It's coming.
Yeah, it'll be here.
There'll be a slight tariff, of course.
Yeah, just a small. Yeah, I wonder. Now I didn't notice. Is there a tariff on beer manufactured in?
I'm sure there is. Labatt's, all the Canadian brands.
I wonder which. Yeah, Labatt's. I mean, that's a. It's funny because Labatt's is a. It's a pretty big selling beer here. Although I may be wrong, but I thought that they brew it here.
You might have a brewery on our side.
Huh.
Can you trust Americans to make a Canadian beer to the recipe? I don't think you can.
You do anything these days. All right. The beer subject to tariffs.
I think it probably is because the first thing the Canadians did was pull Jim Beam and Southern Comfort and Jack Daniels right off. No American whiskey. No whiskey American.
Trump puts tariffs on thousands of goods from Canada and Mexico. New tariffs on aluminum and steel. Well, right there, it's beer kegs and cans.
Yep.
And of course, the first newspapers carrying the story is the Daily Cardinal.
Well, the United Press International and Associated Press and the Washington Post and the New York Times soon will be allowed to go to press briefings at the White House.
Are they excluding them?
They're going to revisit who gets to come into the White House. You have to be a Trump paper. You have to be a Trump source, a reliable, lying source of news and shit.
Well, I don't know. Should we apply for credentials?
I think you have to buy a Tesla. It comes with the Tesla.
I couldn't go. I couldn't be in the same room. I couldn't. I couldn't be in the same room with that guy.
No, you have your standards. Don't be ashamed.
I mean, I'm just boy, oh boy. Let's see. I'm trying to see if there's a list. There's a list
Of products, imports.
of beers. Doesn't seem to be. Johnny Walker, Smirnoff, Don Julio, and Casamigos. Diageo is the name of the company. $1.6 billion worth of tequila was shipped to the U.S. last year from Mexico. Absolute Vodka, Jameson whiskey. Wow! Campari. What are you fucking with the Italian? What did we do?
Oh, Campari.
Anheuser-Busch. Gets affected. Brown Forman, which produces Jack Daniels, subject to tariffs from Canada and Mexico, and then they produce a large number of their product in Canada. Constellation Brands, which includes Corona and Modelo Especial.
Mexican beer made in America.
Molson Coors. Miller Lite maker Molson Coors has exposure to tariffs through Molson Canadian. Heineken. Cuervo MX is owned by Beckley, which is one of the tequila makers. Wow.
And it's just going to get worse.
It's going to be time for dry in March, April.
Well, St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah, just in time for St. Patrick's Day.
And this Friday is not only Kristen's birthday, it's a blood moon eclipse.
Yes. What was Kristen's birthday? The 14th?
Yes.
Yeah, my sister is the 13th. And I am aware of that blood when they say to go out. The best time to see it was before dawn.
The red moon of revenge.
Now, is that something that usually happens on her birthday, or is that just a strange occurrence?
It's a strange and unusual occurrence.
Well, that's nice to have something like that happen on your birthday.
Love to see how America fares under the blood moon.
You could take that as a good sign, right?
Yes, you could.
Michael, I'm looking for positives.
Thank you. Well, those guys that wear the Mexican wrestler masks and little straight jackets, does it get hot under those masks? Could you tell?
It looked like it. A couple were fairly sweaty, and being as I was like right down in the second row, you could
You
see
could,
it.
yeah.
I wouldn't want to wear a leather mask in a hot building.
At the office.
Yeah, I mean, it just didn't look comfortable.
Well, they came up with a gimmick. Now they're stuck with it.
Yeah. You imagine that you come up with a gimmick. You're thinking this will be funny for a night, and now America's most popular band. Oh, Mikey, where is it? Where will it? Where is this all going to go?
Tragedy. Tragedy.
I don't. I don't feel good about all of this, man. I just don't feel like this is gonna come to a good conclusion for anybody, you know?
Well, if you have politicians lying right to your face, this is going to be good.
Gonna be good.
And the stock market's happy. The car buyers and the Canadians love us.
Canadians love
The Mexican government's totally behind our problem. The Russians aren't going to go to the peace table, so poor Ukraine. We tried our best, but Russia wouldn't play. So, what else do you want to talk about? America is great. We made America great again. Look at this. Look how great we made it.
You know, you hit on something that really makes me feel probably it not as bad as you can feel. And that is that Trump stands up there and tells bold-faced lies to people.
And they're used to it now. They're just absolutely
And
fine with it.
not even the media calls them. I mean, not even CNN sits there and says, "Well, that's not right," and a fact checker says, "And that's not right," and wait a minute, that isn't right. Where's the guy who used to be the fact checker? Used to come on after all of these little swinging soirees that Trump hold.
Well, they fired him with the morning team and the other reporters that they had to get rid of. Fact checker. Who? Nobody pays attention to that. We're not going to check your facts. Facebook's not going to check facts. Why should we?
Yeah. An open territory, I guess.
It's cheaper to lie. It's just so much easier.
Well, you don't have fact checker.
Right.
See, that's the thing. If you lie, you don't need a fact checker. All you need is somebody to further your lies.
And you won't need a fact checker if you have no Department of Education, because no one's going to be smart enough to know the difference. In fact, what is the difference between a lie and the truth? I don't think there is any difference.
Who's telling it, right?
Yeah. I say there's no difference. They're the same. Which do you want, the truth or a lie? They're about the same.
It's really sad. And I don't know. I mean, you know, my instinct is to stay and fight and not let them get away with this.
Absolutely. You're
but
right about
more
that.
and more I hear
Yeah, what are you going to do?
people say, well, we just got to get through the next 4 years.
We don't have 4 years to wait.
I am in total agreement with you. I don't think the way this thing is accelerating, I don't know that we have 4 years.
We have 1 year.
I just don't think we have 4 years. And I think you're right. I think we got closer to one. I think we absolutely have to make something happen in these upcoming elections. And this is an off year.
Coup d'etat.
You know, you have to have something happen. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. I just saw yesterday that Katie Porter is going to make a run for governor.
Yeah.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but is she? Is there any there? Yeah.
Well, I think she's defined herself as an alternative to everything, not a lead candidate.
So she'll be so is she primarying Gavin Newsom term limited, or is Newsom going to drop out because he wants to get himself ready for
The presidential run.
20, 2028, right?
Right. I think we can not be absolutely convinced of it, but it's a likely outcome.
Well, I'll give you my guy to watch.
Who dat?
Okay, I'm going to give because we all love comebacks, right? But young Mr. Cuomo, former governor of New York, is running for the mayor of New York.
Yeah, he is.
And I don't know anything more than just a hunch I have. He was the guy that I liked and thought would be successful before the pandemic hit.
He had a good run during the pandemic. Very, very visible.
But since we've radically changed the rules here on what makes a president and what doesn't make a president,
Or what's presidential.
Do we now see a guy like Andrew Cuomo run for mayor in New York, get elected, in the job 2 years, do a good job, because he is a master politician, and seriously make a run at the presidency?
I'd rather have his dad, but we've got to take what we can get.
I don't know. There was always something that was in the dad's. Something wasn't right with the dad.
Something was buried, but not very deep.
Yeah, there was something. There always seemed to be something there that if you scratched the surface hard enough, you didn't have to go too deep. You had to go a little deeper than regular. But if you went too deep, you might see things that you didn't want.
Well, that's the way it is with all the Cuomo boys, it appears.
You know, so I don't know, but I'm not saying that, you know, the problems that he had that prevented him from running the last time,
Right there.
after 4 years of Trump, like a choir boy.
Well, it's like Roman history. Once they got to the emperors, they became worse and worse and worse. But they were like, well, the last one was awful, so this one will be good too. Why? Well, he's awful too.
How'd this guy be?
How can he be an emperor? He was just Bobby Tumarius. He was a senator. Well, now he's God's man.
My God, what an incredible time we live in.
You're right about that, Vinny. And
Yeah,
you got back from Canada, okay.
I
What did you
got
drive
back
up
from
there?
Canada okay.
What did you drive up there, by the way?
Oh, I actually rented a car.
Oh, that's right. You couldn't take the
I couldn't
demo
take
across
the
the border.
Subaru, so I rented a Ford Bronco. Um, and it was. I mean, I've driven a bunch of Broncos before, so it's a good car. It's a good power to get you there. Decent on gas, so it was
You,
okay.
you
Okay.
didn't have to. You didn't have to pay any American tariffs for bringing a Ford into Canada.
No, no, didn't have to pay any tariffs to take the car in to Canada or take it back. And again, they had clean with warm gravy and cheese curds at Morton's.
It's a tradition. That's the way.
How bad could it be? So maybe we'll get this thing straightened out with Canada here in the next couple of in the next couple
Weeks.
of days. All right. Before we go, just want to we lost a. I mean, I'm not going to say I was friends with the guy or anything like that. I met him at a bunch of events and stuff like that. I think you knew him a little bit too. But Bob Rivers passed away.
Right. I met Bob.
Yeah, and uh, listen. Maybe he wasn't my cup of tea as far as uh, what I'd want to be as a radio person,
Morning
but
man.
he did one thing that we always talk about on this show. He was in show business.
Right. He put on a show.
He put every day. He'd go in there and for 4 hours or whatever it was, he would put on a show. He would entertain you. If that was your kind of entertainment, you would get your money's worth from Bob Rivers. And his crew that he is sounding. So to Bob's family and to all the people that worked for him, I know a few people that worked for him, and all of them said that he was just a real nice guy.
Seattle lost another radio great. It was announced this morning. Steve West, the general manager of KISW and KXRX, died, and he was one of the most remarkable GMs in that area. Twice
Wow,
the NAB Station of the Year.
boy, they're are falling, man.
And we're still
Our, pe-
here.
our peers are falling. So remember to take your medicine, brush your teeth, your hair,
Be
and
good.
smile at people.
Pretend you're a Canadian. Be happy. Be friendly.
All right, what do you say we get together and do this again Friday?
It'll be a freaky, fractious Friday, Vinny.
It will be a Friday like no Friday you've ever Friday before.
That sounds familiar. Who said that? Bella Lugosi, I thought, but who knows?
Could have been Bella. George Reeves. Uh,
Could have been.
I haven't talked much about George lately. We'll have to.
Superman's got to help us out here and quick.
Boy, no shit. We could use Superman. You want to talk about somebody we could use right now? But then again, I always think about that Saturday. I don't know if you ever saw Saturday Night Live sketch where Superman was on the German side. Motif was called Uberman, and he
uh,
was not good.
he was not good. He was with Leon
He was
Musk's.
evil. Who are you, Klaus Kent?
That's funny. He is
I'll have
not
to see if I
good.
can find that. That'll aim me, man.
All right, Vinny, I'll see
I
you
will see
then.
you on Friday if the Lord's will and the creek don't rise.
But the creek's starting to rise. I usually say
No
it's not
shit.
gonna.
It's that time of the year again, pal.
Holy moly!
Peace, love, vanish, baby.
What a wine! What a beer, Molson! What a beer, Labatt's! What a
Oh
beer,
yeah.
Moosehead!
Take away our beers.
See
All
ya.
right, Mikey. Take care of yourself. And thank you all for listening. We always appreciate it. We'll see you on Friday at 10:10. Be here, please.